game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
No idea. Irrelevant.
Or aren't you happy they lost rather than losing to the Cubs? Because then you'd have to listen to Cubs fans like Jim Rutledge.
Honestly, I am so flattered that I am just like an obsession amongst petty Brewer fans and petty Wisconsin sports fans like Alex Strofe and other ones.
Wow, he turned off
like
his
if
mic.
I'm able to get you to shut the mic down, I mean, Jim probably put you in his pocket half the time.
Yeah, he did.
It happened occasionally.
You're his pocket pancake.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
I need a gross from Molly Brown before I get this show started.
Gross.
Gross. It is
Savage.
Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the Mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush a Coors Light.
I'm Jim Rutledge. I have the power in the Everlight Solar Studio. Primetime Laura shine behind the glass. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream and stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. The Cubs won today with final score 5-3. Is that right?
6-4.
6-4. See, that's how much I was following along today.
He's a Cubs fan.
Well, we were doing other things ahead of time. I know that
And Jim admitted yesterday he's a little checked out on the Cubs. Now that the division race is over, the Cubs still 8 games behind. Congratulations.
you got to win
games
at
behind.
a bare minimum. They have to win the next 3 for it to be a realistic, not even realistic, to have like a puncher's chance. Like the Cubs don't even have a puncher's chance at the moment. If they win the next 3, then they got a puncher's chance.
So it's not a rivalry. Still.
It's just about first place. It's not a rivalry. Because I'm not extra
it's
upset.
competition. It's not finding your
okay.
enemy.
I compare
Gotcha.
the Brewers Cubs to like Minnesota and Green Bay. That it feels like a rivalry and it's there, but it's not as big as the Bears and Packers. It's just the Bears haven't held up their end of the donkey on that one, so they haven't been good enough to make it. It'll burn white hot fire in a way that Minnesota Green Bay never will. Just like Cubs Cardinals burns hotter than the Brewers will burn for the Cubs. And again, Brewers have to get in line at least behind the White Sox fans as far as the fan base that hates the Cubs the most.
Okay.
Because that's more of like Hatfield and McCoy sort of thing there. Family ties for the White Sox and the Cubs into that. But the Cubs now are within 8, and we will celebrate that today. No, I'm just kidding. You can get into the show, 844-770-3776. That's the Crawford Talking text line. This is more. And I have upset Brewer Nation again, or Wisconsin Sports Fan Nation again, Molly.
Mm-hmm.
And I stand by what I said, which is basically that Brewer fans are inflating their love for Pat Murphy unconsciously because they're still not over Craig Counsell. Because if you looked at it logically, as a Brewers fan, the biggest solace you should take about this team and how well they're playing and their sustained success is that the transition from David Stearns to Matt Arnold was amazing, and that's why this team is good. Pat Murphy is not a detriment to this team. Pat Murphy is obviously a very good manager. Craig Counsell's a very good manager, too. The difference between these two clubs right now is that the Brewers are better at talent acquisition, especially in the scouting and the development side of things, because the Brewers have the best record in baseball. They also have the best farm system in baseball, and that's all because of Matt Arnold and David Stearns. Now, we'll give the credit to Arnold because he's here, what he's built up. So, like, the fact that Brewer fans glom on to Pat Murphy as their new version of Hank the Dog, the mascot they have to hype up and beloved to somehow make themselves feel better instead of just looking at it logically and saying, man, we are lucky and fortunate to have Matt Arnold. Like, that's not fun enough. You gotta focus on the manager because you're not over your ex and Craig Counsell.
Yes, and I will say also you essentially gave the Brewers a compliment yesterday as well by saying that the players are the second reason why they're so good right now.
Well,
like,
and if,
you were giving them
yes.
compliments.
And the premise is they're so good.
Yes.
Like, so it's more of like, why are they so good? So there's not a lot of like, I'm not denigrating the Brewers. They are the best team in baseball.
You're just denigrating Pat Murphy.
He's not denigrating Pat Murphy,
was
though.
egregious behavior.
That's what's annoying about it.
Yes, I'm denigrating the fan base that really wants to attribute a lot to Pat Murphy because baseball managers, they matter the least. in all of sports because in every sport you have to manage the vibes. Absolutely. Baseball, one of them. The NBA, you also have to build an offensive and defensive system that the players have to function in, and you have to build around them and then also manage vibes and egos. The NFL, just go ask the Packers organization as opposed to Chicago's organization, coaching matters as much as the players. I'm not saying Mitch Trubisky or Justin Fields would have been even to Jordan Love's standard, but the Bears never got the most out of them because they didn't have the right organizational structure, didn't have the right coaching. Baseball, you're setting a lineup, but nowadays that's basically done through analytics. And pitching changes and things like that, that's still heavily driven by analytics. And everyone just assumes if the move made was bad, that the other move would have worked. But that's obviously you can't logically do that. So fans try to attribute a lot to a baseball manager, but realistically, the most they can do is kind of manage vibes. And I do think that like plus or minus 4 wins is kind of where I'd put a manager, and that's where Pat Murphy is.
So his WAR is 2?
I'll give him 4. I'll give him because if you go with the -2, like 2, you take away 2 losses or add 2 wins for Pat Murphy, I'll give him not only the takeaway, we'll give him the -2 plus the forward of 2. So I'll say he'll make a 4-win difference.
Take that for data.
That's not even the way you're supposed to do it, but that's how I
was
would
going
do
to say,
it.
I think that is 2 WAR, isn't it? Minus
I know,
it's
it
negative
is.
2 WAR or plus 2
But
WAR?
Jim is being nice.
I'm
No,
trying to give the
take it
benefit
for
of
what
the
it's
doubt
worth.
on it.
Jim is being nice.
I understand
right now.
it just goes to show that the whole WAR statistic is more confusing than it needs to be at times.
I agree, and
Add it to the list.
my overall
You
point,
love WAR, Jim.
they haven't gotten over it. Brewer fans haven't, and I had evidence in the idea that Craig Counsell is. We asked the question: if Craig Counsell was the manager of the Brewers, would the Brewers still be in first place? And I haven't looked recently, but at one point it was like 80%, 76% is what we have here. 76% of people said no, they would not still be leading the division if Craig Counsell was a manager, and that's obviously just insane.
Yeah, no, I think if they switch places, I think it'd all be the same. I really do.
I think they would be leading by fewer games. I think it would probably be your 4 WAR number. I think
Yeah.
they would probably be 4 or 5 games ahead of the Cubs right now. But I think they'd still be in a pretty comfortable spot.
Even if Pat Murphy, the great Pat Murphy, was managing the Cubs?
Oh, so switching it over. So you're saying
No,
just
I'm
straight
throwing
if they
another
switch
curveball
places,
at
if
you.
they
Yeah.
literally
Swap?
switch places, yeah.
I mean, then the Cubs would have 100 wins already.
Oh
I mean,
my
what
God.
are we saying? No, I think Pat Murphy. I mean, who knows? I think Pat Murphy could be exactly what the Cubs need right now. Honestly, Kyle Tucker might really benefit from a manager like Pat Murphy right now.
Or a non-broken finger.
Well, that, but I also William Contreras has had a broken finger all year. Pat Murphy's his manager. Look at how good he's been recently.
I believe over the course of the year, Kyle Tucker is still a better player.
Oh, by far.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
over the course of like the last 3
Over the
weeks,
broken
Kyle
finger, I don't-
Tucker
yeah.
is like one of the worst players in baseball.
Yes, but then if we're going to play the short term, Craig Counsell's better than Pat Murphy because he won today.
Oh, we're doing
Like,
that
how,
short term.
my
how
God.
short term are we
Wow.
going?
Take
I
that
mean, you
for
can move
data.
things however you want.
Clearly.
Brett on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream says Counsell stinks as a manager, and that's coming from a Cubs fan. I don't know if Brett is a Cubs fan or if he's saying this.
I honestly, I
Jim
would be
is Cubs
curious to know, do
Oh.
Brewers fans or Cubs fans think he is a worse manager currently?
Oh,
Craig
yeah, Cubs
Counsell.
fans are all in their feels about again, it's not even about Counsell and Murphy. I don't think baseball managers matter that much. Unless they're horrible, which Counsell is not, and Murphy is not. They're both on the plus side of above average managers. Like, they're going to only add to wins. Is it 2 or 3, 4, maybe? But that's kind of the max here. And the best baseball managers will tell you that. The analytics will tell you that. Everything will tell you that baseball managers only matter so much.
Brett is a Cubs fan, he just said on the YouTube stream, so that's good to know.
And look, plenty of Cubs fans are very upset with Craig Counsell. But it's almost like different
I
complaints.
think it's the big city, right? Like we always talk about how if you play in a big city, if you're in a large market, you're going to get more scrutiny. We talked
Yeah.
about that with players. We talked about it, let's say, with Aaron Rodgers. When he went to New York, he was going to get a lot more you-know-what because he was in a big market. Do you think that's in the same way that it is for like Craig Counsell being in Chicago? Like he's
definitely-
getting more flack being there?
Yeah. I mean, you have David Kaplan burying the Cubs and going at them in a way that you would never hear KBN go after Pat Murphy. Like the Cubs have the Cubs have what now? 71 wins on the year. And it's disappointing that they're not where the Brewers are. The Brewers are the better team. But like in Wisconsin, if the Brewers and the Cubs were switched, it would be a lot about, but the Cubs, like in any other division, the Cubs would be in first place if it was Wisconsin media market talking about
That's
it.
a fair point, even for Brewers fans talking about the Cubs. The Cubs are a good team. Like, don't get us wrong. Like, they're scuffling recently.
They're scuffling, but
you could question whether Craig Counsell is a great manager. I think he's a good one at the end of the day. But the Cubs are a great team.
Yes,
they're honestly, they probably are the third or fourth best team in the NL this
They're
year.
not playing like it currently.
No,
and
not
like
currently.
that's the rub here. But they are getting buried in Chicago.
So who do you think dislikes someone more, Cubs fans with Craig Counsell or Brewers fans with you?
Maybe Brewers fans with me, because also they got so in their
People
feels
like
they
me.
didn't even get the correct rebuttal to like what I'm saying. Honestly, the thing that you could dunk on the Cubs for or Cubs fans for is that, and it's more the organization because we didn't pay the money, is paying a manager $7-8 million a year when they don't matter that much. Like Craig Counsell, his first year as a manager won 83 games with the Cubs. David Ross's last season with the Cubs, he won 83 games.
So when Craig Counsell signed his massive contract with the Cubs, were you like, this is so stupid? Why are you paying this guy that much money? Or were you happy about it because you knew that he was a good manager when he was in Milwaukee?
I was not. I was surprised because I didn't think they needed to move off David Ross. I thought it was funny, like the reaction. I mean,
right.
The reaction from Brewer fans losing their mind over it was hilarious. And I'm at the same time, I'm all for, like, there's no salary cap on it, so pay the money. There's no salary cap in baseball, but like, you can pay a manager whatever you want, so go ahead and do it. And the Brewers are right there. The Brewers are going to manage the same. Again, the other part would be they're going to pay him close to it. The other part of it is, and again, a thing to make fun of him for at the moment is that I think he thought he'd have a better chance to win a World Series with the Cubs than the Brewers. We'll have to see how the season plays out, but if you're betting person, you're betting the Brewers. And currently, the Brewers have better betting odds to win the World Series than the Cubs.
Right.
So, 844-770-3776 is how you get into the show. It's Carbon Talk text line. List is more. I want to get to our Siding Limited poll question in a minute when we talk about fandom, but we do have some audio from what I would call bandwagon fans in the KBN crew.
Bandwagon Brewers fans.
Bandwagon Brewer fans. Forget even
BBF.
Ben's like former fandom. Like, they're just bandwagoners anyway. Like, that show is just bandwagon. We might as well call that KBN, the KBN bandwagon.
Okay.
They are a hype machine. They are a bandwagon machine. Kyle, I would say, is the only diehard Packer fan on that show. I'm leaving the Strofe, obviously, but in general,
No idea. Irrelevant.
like, it's a bandwagon show, which is fine. Like, that they do a different show than us. But we are going to talk about bandwagon fans. But they had some thoughts on. I just want to point out to every single person on social media who replies like, I'm over Craig Counsell. The only people I believe who are over Craig Counsell are the people who are not responding to my post. Every single person that has to go out of the way to tell me that they're not upset about Craig Counsell being gone, I chalked it up as like they're upset with Craig Counsell being gone. Is that fair?
It's not your fault.
I mean, it's the whole thing like with the ex that we talked about yesterday, right?
Yeah. Yes, true.
Yes.
Yes, and that was in
Mr.
response
X.
to something that Mr. Irrelevant, the producer at KBN, who Jim was just referencing, they might be the leaders of the anti-Jim Rutledge bandwagon club right now, I would say.
All right.
So this is what Kyle Wallace and Ben Brust had to say to your point about Pat Murphy. The reason that Brewers fans are loving him so much is because we're still not over Craig Counsell. This is what Kyle and Ben had to say today.
I love they're mad at Craig Counsell, so they're overhyping Pat Murphy. That's just talking into a microphone without substance, because I think, if anything, Craig
Ben knows about
Counsell
that.
is made his own bed, as I said yesterday. He has. He chose the money, and he says he hasn't seen a George Webb.
That's an obsession right there, to be
Has
upset
the best
about
bullpen he's
that.
ever had. Talking about Pat Murphy in a positive way simply has something to do with the results that we're seeing in front of us. Right? Like,
these are results that
unprecedented statistics and historical streaks that have not happened in Brewers baseball.
14-game winning streak, and the longest we had before was 12. 12.
Oh, so he's 2 games better? Who had the prior winning streak? Was it Craig Counsell?
No.
I thought they got to George Webb's with George. Was it 11 then?
With Craig Counsell?
Yeah, I thought that was the whole.
Well, that was the thing where they got it carried over into the playoffs.
So here's the thing.
It's a divided topic amongst us Brewers fans, Jim.
Well, you can't give credit to Craig Counsell, obviously.
Clearly.
So like Ben just proved my point. One, he started with all negative thoughts on Craig Counsell. So again, thank you for proving my point. You did not lead with the positive with Pat Murphy. You started with the negative with Craig Counsell.
Well, he was reacting to what you said about Brewers fans not being over Craig Counsell. So he was responding directly
but
to
then
your
he
statement.
did say, again, he went directly to here's all the things Craig Counsell isn't instead of here's what Pat Murphy is. And here's the thing. The Brewers were good under Craig Counsell, correct?
They were pretty good,
Yes.
yes. They made the play. I'd have to look it up, but they made the playoffs, I believe 5 years in a row under Craig Counsell.
Right. So
They were good.
They were good. They're good now with Pat Murphy.
Yes.
But if you want to, I used this phrase with my kids the other day and thought it was funny. All you have to do is like peruse social media to see Brewer fans when the Cubs are playing the Reds and they're still dunking on the Cubs for losing the game or whatever. Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. Like, you are upset that Craig Counsell left. You haven't let it go. And instead of calling Brewer fans too obtuse to understand that the manager doesn't matter that much, I'm giving them the out by saying they're too obsessed with the manager to understand that Matt Arnold and the players are why this team is winning. And I will die on this hill, and I think any smart baseball person would live on this hill is with me. If Pat Murphy's managing the Cubs and Craig Counsell is managing the Brewers, the standings are the same. And if you don't understand that, like, they're acting like Craig Counsell wasn't phenomenal here. They're acting like the Brewers didn't offer Craig Counsell within a couple $100,000 of what the Cubs offered him. They're acting like Craig Counsell didn't hire Pat Murphy.
Right. You have Pat Murphy because of Craig Counsell. But I do want to read Tier 1 Tyler chimes in on the Carbless Talking text line 844-770-3776. This is totally fair to me. He says, Craig Counsell has been with the Brewers since his dad was in the front office, almost 30-ish years. He left us for a few more million. It felt like he broke up with us as a fan base. That's totally valid. And that's a totally valid feeling to me to feel, right? Like, I think even you not being a Brewers fan, you can say, like, I do sympathize for you in that aspect.
I'm not even faulting him for not doing it. Tier 1 Tyler says I can show you 100% Cub accounts to do the same thing. Tyler, you finally caught on. My whole point of this whole stupid thing is I got annoyed with Brewer fans picking out Cub fans to be like, look at this triggered Cubs fan about the Brewers. So I just reversed it. And you all fell directly into it. Tier 1 Tyler finally gets it. Yeah. All fan bases are obsessed with each other. All fan bases like to pick at each other. I find it obnoxious that Brewer fans will find a Cub fan that's upset and say, look, the Cubs are obsessed with us. Meanwhile, I don't have to look very hard to find the opposite. But my point is that the Cubs' obsession with the Brewers is about the standings, not the team. Milwaukee fans are in their little brother feels specifically about the big brother Cubs who have a World Series, who have the money to pay people, who have a historic stadium that was not built in the last 30 years that has a dome on it. They're in their feels about all those sorts of things, so they lash out instead of just focusing on themselves and saying, we got a hell of a baseball team. We might go to the World Series. The fact that I will bet my mortgage that I could find 1,000 baseball Brewer fans easy on social media that will dunk on the Cubs the second the Brewers won a World Series makes me know how much space the Cubs fans own and the Cubs own in Brewers fans' head. Because you know it for a fact that there would be thousands of Brewer fans that the first thing they're going to post about them winning the World Series is about Craig Counsell and the Cubs.
So I will say there was some additional responses to what you said, especially from one Alex Strofe, your former producer, Mr. Irrelevant himself.
Okay.
And he...
No idea. Irrelevant.
Kind of thought some of that very same logic about another portion of your fandom.
When you prop up Caleb Williams, it's because you wish you had Aaron Rodgers.
Oh,
when
my
you
God.
prop up Ben Johnson, it's because you wish you had Matt LaFleur. Just using Jim's logic, what he has made a career out of the last 15 years at ESPN Madison, when he talks about his favorite teams, he wishes he was us.
That's honestly really sad that Alex had no actual comeback, that he just had to try to reverse what I had and thinks he got me. That's honestly the most pathetic thing that Alex has done, and Alex has done a lot of pathetic things. He's smarter and better than that. Like, goodness, Alex, be better. Give it like, you were just trying to be cute and, like, flip it back on me. Come on, guy. Like, Alex, you're better than that. Give it another shot. You know what? I'll give Alex, take it another run because you are so off on this. Because the difference would be I am like if Caleb Williams left the Bears to go to the Packers and then was successful with the Packers, then that would be a fair comp. He's arguing about apples and I'm talking about corn. Like if Ben Johnson left the Bears and went to the Packers and was successful with the Packers, then there would be an argument there. But he's arguing two different things. So Alex is better than that. So give him a second run. If he wants to respond to it, I'll give him a second try because that was bad.
Here is his second run right now. If you want to hear the rest of his statement.
Okay.
Is he just like in the studio
He feels
with
like
you?
an outcast, and it's imposter syndrome.
Feel.
That's the way I take it.
He's an
Because
outcast, for sure.
everything he just spelled out, we can just reverse it back on him, and it just says he just wishes his dad was a Packers and Brewers fan growing up so he didn't have to live in this hell that he's lived in his entire life.
The hell that I lived in.
Ridiculous.
Again, a reminder that I am also grew up a diehard Bulls fan, so that counts 6 titles for me growing up in my prime. Plus, I got a Bears Super Bowl.
In my prime.
My prime fandom as a kid. Like, being a kid, I'm sorry. As a fan, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Annika, you just...
Yeah. No, that's
in
fair.
My prime.
No, in my prime, I cut myself off there. In my prime sports fandom, which to me is a child, I got 6 rings. Then I got the Bears. I remember the Bears.
How old were you during the Bulls championships?
12 to 18.
Yeah, that's the prime.
Yes.
That's prime.
I was 6 when the Bears won the Super Bowl. So I got 7. I got the Cubs.
Molly, why are you? This is serious.
I got the Cubs at 8.
This is how it works.
I have no imposter syndrome. I got
He's
8
running
titles.
out of fingers here,
I got
you guys.
8
Oh my
titles to
God.
root for. 8 titles that I got.
Take that for data.
8.
Do you get 8 rings? Or you just got 1 on your hand. On
True.
your hands, as far as I can
But
tell.
my point is, you don't have to cry for me as a sports fan. I've actually seen greatness and sustained greatness. But I get it. A fan like Alex really hasn't seen much. He was what? I guess probably 2 Super Bowls, probably a baby when they won the first
So
one.
that was 2011. Well, he wouldn't have been born the first one because I wasn't born the first one.
I believe
it was in '96.
He's 1 year older than I am. I was born in 1999, so he would have just missed the '97 Super Bowl. So then, yes, he would have
And I was 14 when the Packers won.
Yes, he would see the Packers winning the
12?
Super Bowl in 2011, the 2010
and the Bucks
season,
too.
and then the
Yeah.
Bucks.
So he's got 2 to my 8. So I understand.
But you are right. So then his age is, I believe, 27, and you are.
But I had him before 40. I mean, I still had 6 before I was 18. I feel bad for
In his
people like
prime.
Alex. My prime fandom, I had 6. So again, I feel bad for you, Alex.
I think both
again,
fan
try
bases
again.
suffer in different ways. But also, I think if you want to like go back to what Strofe just said, even though you guys are arguing 2 different things, I've talked to my husband about this, who's a Minnesota Vikings fan. Hell yeah, he wishes he had Aaron Rodgers. Like, look at the teams that the Minnesota Vikings have had. Of course he wished that he had a quarterback that good. And I think you could say the exact same thing for the Bears. Like, yes, you wish that you had a Hall of Fame level quarterback because look how different your teams and your fan base could be.
Right, and that's the difference.
It's okay to admit it.
No, but that's the difference, is that Brewer fans aren't over Craig Counsell specifically. I'm annoyed with the Packers' success year in and year out, and have had, at a bare minimum, because Jordan Love's at least a good quarterback, have now had 3 runs of competent quarterback
exactly
play.
what Pat, the designer, said yesterday when he joined us. Like, oh man, Packers are going to do it
But
again.
it's not. I'm not longing for Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not mad at Aaron Rodgers. Like again, he didn't. It's not the same. So again, Alex is grasping at straws, trying to be cute with the analogy. The imposter syndrome, again, no, because just like him as a Packers fan, there's nothing that would happen. There's only one person in the world that can make this switch, and that says something about him. There's nothing in the world that would make me switch from a Packers fan to a Bears fan, and there's nothing that would make Alex go the other way. That fandom is ingrained into your soul. I don't want to be a Packer fan. I'm happy I'm a Bear fan, just like Alex is happy where he was. So there's no imposter syndrome on that. So the argument is weak sauce. And I'll give him another run at it because it still doesn't hold any water. He was trying to be cute, trying to turn a phrase and flip it back on me. It doesn't work. He every right to dunk on me for the Packers are a model organization and the Bears have been a disaster. Absolutely. You got that, like without a doubt. But I don't want Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre or Matt LaFleur specifically. I just want good players. I want players of that caliber. I want Caleb Williams to be as good as Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Yes, but I'm not longing or upset about him specifically. But Brewer fans are specifically upset about Craig Counsell. And Molly, you gave great reasons why they would be. Yesterday.
What were my reasons? I can't remember. Guys, we talked a lot about Craig Counsell and Pat Murphy.
You really did just you spin it through pretty quick there.
Yeah, I don't know what were my...
But I was asking to rehash your take from yesterday.
Well, I had to think through it, and I've seen so many dang things on social, so I'm like, I can't remember what I said. The biggest reasons why Brewers fans are upset is because he is the ultimate Wisconsinite. Like I just said in Tier 1 Tyler's message that he sent to the Carbus Talk and Text line, like, he has history with the Milwaukee Brewers. He has history in Wisconsin. He still owns a home in the state of Wisconsin. Like, he is Wisconsin through and through. And that is why people are upset. And I don't fault you for being upset. It is okay. Just realize and say that you are upset because he left your great state of Wisconsin. That is why you're mad. That is not hard to admit. Like, it's not. Is it? Right?
I also think it's fair to say that Pat Murphy's just good at his job.
Behavior conducive
He
to
is.
That is the problem, though, because just because we are saying that Brewers fans are mad at Craig Counsell for leaving their great state of Wisconsin does not negate the fact that Pat Murphy is good at his job.
But
both can be true at the exact same time. He is not downgrading Pat Murphy by saying that Brewers fans still care about what Craig Counsell's doing on a daily basis.
But are Brewers fans over-exaggerating Pat Murphy because of the fact that we're not over Craig Counsell still?
I think they're trying to make it seem like their girlfriend is so hot, so their ex-girlfriend isn't anymore. That they are just like, does that make sense?
That makes sense, yes.
Like, you're just like, oh my God, Pat, you're the greatest, you're the best, you're the most awesome. But it's like, okay, you also had a really good one with Craig Counsell too. But just because we say, yes, Craig Counsell was good, doesn't take away from the fact that Pat Murphy is also really good.
I agree, but I will stand with some of the Brewers fans and also some KBN fans as well that I think that Pat Murphy, what he's done is incredible as well. Like what Kyle said, the fact that they've gotten to 14 wins in a row, I think that is in large part due to him. And I don't think...
And vibes
that's
are
a big
important.
part, yes.
Vibes are important. I don't think that we're saying that vibes are not important. We're just saying that is probably his most important job as a manager of a professional baseball team is keeping the vibes strong. Whereas Matt LaFleur, his biggest role as the Green Bay Packers coach is being a play caller. His biggest role is making sure that he's leading that young team that he has to deal with. He's not just a vibes guy. He has a more important role for the Green Bay Packers versus what Pat Murphy does for the Brewers.
I also think, yes,
they're important. They're just important in different ways.
Football coaches have more responsibilities on field, X's and O's, those sorts of things, for sure. But I still do think that what Pat Murphy's doing for the Brewers has been incredible this season. It's extraordinary.
Nobody's arguing against that. I'm just saying that Craig Counsell managing the team the Brewers are also still in first place.
Probably, yes.
And that's it. And the fact that Brewer fans, like, I can't speak for everyone, but Craig Counsell is so far down the list of Cubs that I care about. It's insane. Brewer fans, I swear to God, the only Brewer they care about is Pat Murphy and then maybe a little bit Christian Yelich.
It was egregious behavior.
The players are good. Maybe focus on that. But again, you're so obsessed with Craig Counsell, you got to put all the focus on Pat Murphy.
I think Brewers fans are pretty obsessed with Mizorowski when he was healthy too.
Yeah, but still, Pat Murphy is getting way too much shine. That's my point. He's a great manager. He's getting a weird amount of shine from Brewer fans. It's a coach. It's a manager. Focus on the players. You know what? In real life, we're the players, not the manager. Everyone want to shine up their boss? Like, I'm doing great at work because of my boss. Or am I doing great at work because of me?
I don't think it's that you're doing great at your work, but that your company is doing great. Is that...
what?
Like right now, when fans hype up Pat Murphy, they're hyping up the boss.
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes the boss is a big reason for success.
A boss can be a good leader, which pulls out the best in you as a worker.
And sometimes if you don't have the right boss, then you don't get the best out of the players.
That is true. That's what we're saying. He's a vibes guy. He's very important for the vibes. He's not important for necessarily their skill.
No, he's not important for their skill, but without the right manager, they could not be where they are now, I think. And I think Pat Murphy is the right guy. That's where I'll leave it. I think Pat Murphy is the perfect coach for this team. And I think Craig Counsell would still be successful, very successful with this team. But at the end of the day, I do think Pat Murphy is the right man for the job more than just about anyone else. Maybe there's some others in the past or some other current coaches in the American League who I'm not thinking of. But I think Pat Murphy is the right man for the Brewers.
Like I think if Terry Francona is managing the Brewers, they're just fine.
Okay.
You disagree?
I'm not saying yes or no. I'm saying I think Pat Murphy is the right guy. I did just have an opinion, Molly. I did just have my opinion, is that Pat Murphy is the best man to coach the Brewers.
Big K in the 608. It took me 2 minutes in the car to remind me Rutledge is such a biased, butthurt crybaby.
People like me.
Yeah. Make it the Matt, Molly, and Primetime show. Unfortunately, that won't happen, but we can hear from Matt Hamilton talking about Odyssey right now.
August means easy, so don't waste your summer grinding away in the kitchen. Get oven-baked comfort that still feels light and fresh, like baked feta pasta with Odyssey Feta. Just toss cherry tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, and a big block of Odyssey Feta cheese into a baking dish. Roast it all at 420 degrees for 20 minutes, then stir in your favorite pasta until it's coated in that creamy, tangy, melted feta goodness. It's simple, it's delicious, and Odyssey Feta brings it all together. Made right here in Wisconsin with locally sourced milk, get your Greek on with Odyssey Feta.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I'm out on Kelsey.
Clipped Laporta.
I'm out on Kelsey.
You
I don't like
despise
Kelsey.
Travis Kelce.
I do.
God, if Jim
His
was
hair,
here,
his last name, everything. He would be like, "What? Him and Taylor Swift are great."
if Jim was here, he would just be screaming at the both of you. Right
Literally.
now.
Oh
Exactly.
my gosh, he would be losing
This
his
wasn't even
mind.
a question.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube. You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at StarionBank.com. Member FDIC. Jeff Grimes excited to have Eugene Hilton as part of that arsenal. The Badgers offensive coordinator with more on the true freshman, audio courtesy Wisconsin Athletics.
He's one of our better receivers when you're asking a guy to run a route in the way that it's designed to be run, create separation, and then go up and make a play on the ball. He just has a knack for getting open, and he doesn't drop balls. Where he's grown a lot is in his blocking. He's grown a lot in terms of his toughness, and he will definitely play. He'll be in the rotation.
For long-lasting comfort and reliability, our craftsmen make it easy to trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 5 years at PellaWI.com.
Clinky Cleaners has been in business for over 65 years, and they've had document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems for right around 30 years. CFO Sean Young explains why.
Probably the best thing about James Imaging that's worked for us is they're reliable, they're dependent, they always make things easy for us.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation, and local people who make doing business easy.
They're quick to come whenever we need them, point out lots of simple things for us to try to save us some money and save us time and eliminate headaches.
So Sean, the bottom line of having business technology from James Imaging Systems?
I just appreciate the work that James Imaging has done for us. They're always looking out for our best interests.
James Imaging Systems. Make it easy, save money, eliminate headaches. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has 0 sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
The search for luxury begins at Audi Madison. Save $5,500 when you purchase or lease a new 2025 Audi Q7 55. National customer credit is good toward the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but is only available until September 2nd. Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
1-2. The pitch. Ground ball left side. It'll be fielded by Shaw. Throw to second, one. On to first. It's a double play. And the ball game is over. Shaw, right place, right time, able to snare it. And they turn the 5-4-3 game-ending double play. Brewers had a chance, but come up short. Final score 6-4 in the opener of this twin bill.
If you're looking for an energy drink that actually supports your wellness goals, look no further. ZOA Energy is the answer. It's packed with natural ingredients, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants for a clean, focused boost without the jitters. Co-founded by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, ZOA is vegan, gluten-free, and comes in a variety of bold flavors. With caffeine from green tea and guarana, it fuels endurance and mental clarity, whether you're hitting the gym or grinding through your day. Pick up some ZOA for yourself. Head to ZOAenergy.com.
She's Molly Brown. I'm Jim Rutledge. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. Primetime Laura Shine behind the glass. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. I think I'm putting a new rule on this thing, and I did talk to Ashton about this, and I think from now on, I don't want to play this sort of we respond back and forth with people. I mean, national radio, I get it, but like locally.
All right, come on.
I'm
A sportsman like should be asking you to join the show,
True.
Jim. Come on.
People like me. But if my name's going to come out of your mouth, then maybe have me on your show.
So you can tell Rutledge that.
I think that's like a new rule that I'd like to establish. And I think, Molly, you should hold yourself to it, too. If people talk about Molly Brown, put Molly on the show.
Have an opinion! I used to join KBN, but for some reason they haven't asked me back. So
Same.
That whole crosstalk situation was, look, as a producer and me and Mr. Irrelevant being good coworkers.
No idea. Irrelevant.
It was a lot. I will say that. It was a lot. So maybe
Ryan,
we didn't
click
feel
a
like
button.
we didn't feel like the juice was worth the squeeze at times. Not because of Molly, but because of KBN.
Okay.
They weren't very good.
As long as you got my back, that's all that matters.
Of course.
I'll give
But we all can agree on this part of it. I'm upset, obviously, Brewers Nation about Craig Counsell and Pat Murphy, and are they over Counsell or not. We all can agree on this side of it, that there are a lot of new Brewer fans, bandwagon Brewer fans. And I'm curious what the diehards think about that, what the casual fans think about it. Because, Molly, I think there's three different sets for fans before we ask our poll question. I think there's the diehards. I will describe a diehard as someone that is watching over 60% of, or listening to over 60% of their teams play in real time.
Is
So,
that
like,
just for baseball or all sports?
Well, let's go baseball here specifically, because I think like football maybe 75-80, but baseball's hard to consume. So
yes,
so I would say over 60-65% of your team's real time. No a few of your top prospects. No kind of a backstory on some of the players, and you pick all that up by watching the games. That's
I would say it is not hard to consume Brewers baseball if you listen to 100.5.
Yes, we are the home of Brewers. I just mean that like it's a lot. Not necessarily hard to do it, but it's just a lot.
I know the most about the Brewers team that I have probably in my entire life because of us being the radio home. Just saying.
Same. Does anyone here consider themselves a diehard?
No.
Based off your criteria, I would be a diehard Brewers fan.
There you go.
But I would not consider myself a diehard.
My brother is a diehard Brewers fan as well, and I would call this the same sort of thing. I think if you're consuming that much Brewers baseball, you're there.
You're dedicated.
And then I would go to the casual fan, which I think I fall into for the Cubs. Like, I only initially just care about what the Cubs do more than anything else, just because it's baseball. It's really not that big of a deal. Otherwise, I'm just not that passionate about it. But then for the Cubs, like, I'm not – if they're on national TV, they're on Apple, like, I will watch the games. If I have Sirius XM, I will stream the games when I'm mowing the lawn. I might try to, like, time my yard work around the Cubs if I can. But at the same time, I'm not – living or dying if they win or lose. If they fall behind by a ton, I turn it off and I move on.
Would you ever plan your night around watching a Cubs game?
No.
Any game?
I mean, playoffs, yeah. But, like, otherwise, no.
Friday night, like, say they're playing on Apple TV Friday night against the Cardinals. You're not being like, you know what, I'm setting it aside and watching the Cubs.
No, what I would do is I would, if I found a little bit of a window with the kids, like, going to bed, or if I'm, like, laying with Nola and she's turned over, like, maybe I'll watch a little bit as she's trying to fall asleep. Maybe I'll watch a little bit on my phone. Or maybe, like, if my wife and Rosie are reading or whatever, then maybe I'll try to sneak in a few minutes. But I'm not building my night around it. So I call myself a casual fan. And then there's the bandwagon fans who are hopping on as the team is good. And I would say that I would fall as a casual fan. And I'll add this little part, Molly. I don't care about bandwagon fans. I think they're fine. Like, I don't have any grudge against bandwagon fans, but I am curious what our fans think.
So I feel like I'm not at the level of, like, bandwagon, but over my vacation, once I saw how the Brewers were doing, and I mean, obviously they've been kicking ass for the last, like, 2 months now, basically. But I feel like that's when I was kind of like, it might be kind of fun to be a Brewers fan. And I don't mean that like, oh, I'm going to, like, all of a sudden be like, I'm a Brewers fan and I always have been. No, that's not going to be me. But, like, okay, I'll start paying a little bit more attention. I'll get a little bit excited. I'll start thinking maybe they can actually do this.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get myself so into it that I'm going to get my heart broken by it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be that big of a fan. But I will say, even before my little epiphany that I had over my vacation, I've always been like, I will root for the Brewers because they are the Wisconsin team, and I don't care about any other baseball team. If there's a baseball team that I do care about, it's the Brewers, I guess. But, like, I don't care enough to, be upset by them. That's basically how I feel.
So you're somewhere between the casual and bandwagon.
Yeah, probably whatever's lower than that, I guess. Probably. I don't know.
Well, I'm saying you're a bandwagon now.
But I'm not high enough to be a casual fan.
What did you call yourself yesterday? I want to say you called yourself like an observer, not an
yeah,
observer.
like I'm a Brewers like observer, like a Brewers outsider, essentially.
Outsider.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking at the team. It's exciting. It's fun. I'm happy for the fans. But, like, I don't care enough.
But I think I don't mean this in a bad way. I think you're a bandwagon fan. That if they win, great. If they lose, you're not gonna sweat it. You don't care. Like,
I guess in my mind though, when somebody says bandwagon, like, I'm picturing you're buying all the gear, you're pretending like you were a fan the whole time, and that's not where I am.
Yeah, that's what I see too.
Okay.
Right?
I just see someone like getting on the party late. And, like, you can take or leave the results. There's different levels to bandwagon fandom.
But I think bandwagon fandom, to me, requires that somebody, like, presents themselves as they're going to live and die with this team now when they didn't care about them before.
Oh, so Matt.
I never once said Matt Hamilton. You
Somebody on the
him.
talking text line did, though.
Importantness.
I would say I would have qualified Matt as a casual fan, but the way you're describing a bandwagon fan, that's Matt.
Because I think it's important that you start with, like, lack of knowledge or care for the team, and then you hop on once they're really good.
And that would apply for the Packers. He is a diehard, but for the Bucks and the Brewers, I would call him a bandwagon fan.
So do you like that?
I don't have a problem with it at all.
Okay.
I find it funny, and I don't have a problem with Matt unless he tries to push back on it, and we can ask him about it. Like, if you're just owning being a band, that's my other little asterisk here about being a bandwagon fan. Own it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're going to be a bandwagon fan, own it, and I'm fine with it. If you're just saying, I'm just here for a good time, I'm not here for a long time, awesome. So,
linger on your fingers.
Siding limited poll question, do you have a problem with bandwagon fans? 844-770-3776, that's the Carbos Talking text line. List is more. Do you have a fan with or do you have a problem with bandwagon fans? I guess the two options are yes, either all in or all out, or no, the more the merrier. Are kind of the two options here. And I think that's the kind of way we can look at it here. We got Dom Cotroneo coming up a little bit later, Jason Wilde as well. This is Jim Matt Mob, presented by Coors Light.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair. So you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
Norman is a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center Update brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. Well, the Milwaukee Brewers one-game winning streak comes to an end after they beat the Cubs in the first of what was scheduled to be a doubleheader yesterday. Doubleheader rained out in the night slate. Played the game earlier today, and the Brewers falling 4-6 down at Wrigley Field. Brewers tried to make a comeback in the 6th inning, scoring 2 runs to pull it within 2, but ultimately not being able to get the job done as Owen Casey finished it off for the Cubs with a homer to left center field. Here's how the final out sounded on 100.5 ESPN.
1-2. The pitch. Ground ball left side. It'll be fielded by Shaw. Throw to second one. On to first. It's a double play. And the ball game is over. Shaw, right place, right time, able to snare it. And they turn the 5-4-3 game-ending double play.
The Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago Cubs will be back at it tonight with Brandon Woodruff slated to start for the Brew Crew. 7:05 p.m. first pitch. Pre-game coverage starts just before 6:30 right here on 100.5 ESPN shortly after Jim, Matt, and Molly wraps up. Jim, Matt, and Molly, Hour 2, coming up next.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
No idea. Irrelevant.
Or aren't you happy they lost rather than losing to the Cubs? Because then you'd have to listen to Cubs fans like Jim Rutledge.
Honestly, I am so flattered that I am just like an obsession amongst petty Brewer fans and petty Wisconsin sports fans like Alex Strofe and other ones.
Wow,
if I'm able to get you to shut the mic down, I mean, Jim probably put you in his pocket half the time.
Yeah, he did.
It happened occasionally.
You're his pocket pancake.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I'm Jim Rutledge. I have the power in the Everlight Solar Studio. I have extra power because I obviously work out at Carbon World Health. You can ask them about semaglutide. You can ask them about hormone replacement treatment, their workout facility. They have the cryotherapy. They have a brand new cryo over there at Carbon World Health. 2 locations, one in Madison, one in Middleton. We have a Siding Unlimited poll question that you can chime in on the Carbos Talker text line. List is more, 844-770-3776. Do you have a problem with bandwagon fans hopping on your team? And right now, the poll on Twitter basically says no, 100% so far. And I'm with you. I don't have a problem with bandwagon fans. We did have one person chime in on the Talker text line. I just labeled him Fire Jim 1. I think it's time that ESPN parts ways with Jim. Has an educated comment ever come out of his mouth? Some diehard fans work 60% of Brewer games. So sick of his ignorance and idiotic opinions. Time to get someone worth listening to. Send him to Chicago radio. Man, that's such a compliment. To think that
Chicago radio is really good.
So thank you, Fire Jim 1. All right.
Also, add it to the list of why baseball is stupid. 60% of games people are working during.
That's a great
point. Add it to the list.
We have a caller. You did not give us the information, so.
We have Brian on the talking text line chiming in about the poll question about does he enjoy when bandwagon fans hop on his team?
Hey, Brian.
Hey, I was born in the early 80s. So for most of my life, or at least my childhood into early adult years, the Brewers were completely irrelevant, and there were no bandwagon fans. I love the bandwagon fans. I love it even more when they buy stuff from the Brewers.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think it's great. I don't have any problem with bandwagon fans. I mean, I think it's the same thing with music, too. Like, hey, you don't need to gatekeep your favorite band. Like, if people want to start being a fan now, let them be a fan. If you want to be a Brewers fan and come and go, fine.
And I think Brian brings up a good point. Specific to baseball, too, when you have more bandwagon fans, it actually does benefit the team on the field, theoretically, if the team invests those funds back in the roster. Right, Brian?
Exactly. Yeah, I want them to spend money. Spend money on my baseball team.
Thanks for the call, Brian. I think that's a great point. I am pro bandwagon fans. I've never really been a gatekeeper of fandom. I think it's silly. I guess maybe I'm a little bit. I remember there's plenty of Blackhawk fans. But are you even a Blackhawks fan, bro? When the Blackhawks won the,
there were a lot of bandwagon fans.
Yes,
I remember.
and I was one of them. But like Rosie was born.
Yeah.
And I was up with her, and I'd watch the Blackhawks on like MSNBC because it's stupid when they were on NBC. You didn't know what channel they were on. And I would just be up with her and holding her and watching the Blackhawks. And I bought a hat when they won it because I watched all of the Stanley Cup playoffs basically because she was born right around that time and watched a ton of it. I know Connor Bedard currently, so I guess I'm a bandwagon fan. But I don't have any real problem with it. We could talk to Dom Cotroneo about that next. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I think we asked Jim, would you potentially have your wife on Jim, Matt, and Molly? That's what we wanted to ask you.
If she wanted to, I don't care. I mean, for an interview, she's looking at me right now. I mean, I'm sure we could be open to an interview sometime.
We could bring her on now.
Taylor Swift joining she rolled her eyes at me like my 12-year-old does, so I don't know.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Clinky Cleaner CFO, Sean Young.
The local part is what's key for us. Madison is a local community, and that's what I look at with James Imaging. When I talk to our account rep, he's local.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation, and great people.
I'd say the people at James Imaging are the top of the line for us. They know us, we know them. They take the time to listen to us when we have questions. They make it easy.
And Sean Clinky Cleaners makes it easy for their customers too.
Yes, at Clinky's, we need to be the expert in the field. We want to make life easier for them, and that's what James Imaging does for us.
Sean, any advice for others?
I would say give James Imaging a call. They've been great to us.
James Imaging Systems. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. American Family Insurance can help protect your dream home for whatever comes next. You can live in your own oasis or your own clubhouse. Whatever you choose, get the right coverage. Save up to 23% by bundling home and auto. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Dom Cotroneo was brought to you by Big Fish Contracting. Visit Big Fish Contracting to see how they're renovating homes and redeeming an industry. And Cannon & Dunphy, Wisconsin's premier personal injury law firm, with over $1 billion recovered for clients.
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton, home of the Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl Happy Hour, the best happy hour in Madison. Go say hi to Lee over there at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. in Middleton. Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown. We are thrilled to be joined by Dom Cotroneo, who's down in Chicago for this series. The Cubs have evened it up. A little bit of a surprising performance based off of how the Cubs have not hit really for like the month of August. But Dom, what did you see today in yesterday's game that gives you, what's your thoughts on the first two games? I forget even a take on it. What's your thoughts on the first two games? These two teams are, like, the Cubs are scuffling. They are a 71-win team. Brewers the best team in baseball, but the Cubs are not, like, per se, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Well, yeah, I think the big thing that I think some Cub fans are sort of, like, remembering is, like, yes, they're down 8 games in the division right now after today's loss in Game 1, but it's like they're still the 4th or 5th best record in all of baseball. They're still a very quality team, and I think Brewers fans understand that as well, where, hey, you make a mistake against a quality opponent like they did in Game 1, the poor throw by Andrew Vaughn led to 200 runs, boom, you lose by 2. I mean, I think that's just baseball, right? So Chad Patrick, the 27th man today, if you would have told me he was going to go 5 innings and 3 earned runs against that Cubs lineup, I'm like, yeah, sign me up for that. And, the 200 runs were the difference of this game.
Are you concerned that the Brewers are peaking too soon? I feel like that's been a common narrative around the Brewers just this past weekend. Is that of any worry to you?
No, I just think it's made up. I just think that there's no such thing as peaking too soon, because if people say, oh, they're peaking too soon, and then they win in the playoffs, it's like, well, what happened to the peaking too soon? And then furthermore, if they're not winning right now, it's like, well, why aren't they winning? They got to be playing better. So it's a catch-22 where I just don't buy it. I don't think there's anything in baseball specifically of quote-unquote peaking too soon, because there's still another 35, 36 games left, and there's still a whole ramp that can happen in that stretch, too, for both of these clubs.
I think, and I get what Molly's saying, I think a lot of that, it comes from the idea that baseball will ebb and flow. Like, right now, I would say maybe the Brewers are playing 20% better than, like, they truly are, and the Cubs are playing 20% worse than they truly are, and that could regulate at some point before the season ends, and then that's what it looks like. But I agree with you. No matter what, the Brewers are still going to be the best team in the NL Central and one of the best teams in the National League.
Yeah, I think with the way that the Brewers have just shown off their cards, I mean, it's just, hey, they're going to grind at bats, they're going to have a really good bullpen, and they're going to hit a homer here and there, but they're not going to rely on the home run. And look at that. They play quality defense. They run base. I mean, it's just they're playing the game the right way. It's just there's not really anything that you can sit here and say, like, the Brewers do wrong. And I think that that's just why they're the number one team in baseball. They do so many things so well that it's infuriating to play against. And then when a game like Game 1 of this doubleheader happens, when they make a rare mistake that directly leads to a run, you're like, whoa, what just happened? Because you're so used to not seeing that from the Brewers this season.
So I want to ask you our poll question that we had from yesterday. It was, what's the biggest reason for the Brewers' success this season? The options are Pat Murphy, the players, Matt Arnold, or David Stearns. Where do you fall on that?
I think it's always the players. It has to start with the players. It has to start with the guys in that clubhouse. They're the guys between the lines. They're the guys that are, putting their bodies out there. I think everything that comes starts with the players. That being said, Pat Murphy has always deflected, and Matt Arnold for that matter, and David Stearns have always deflected credit to the players. So that's why I always kind of lean that way. And furthermore, anytime you try to get Pat Murphy to talk about himself and the success that the team has had over the last 2 years under his tutelage, he just always uses a football analogy of just, look, coaches are just linemen. They're just opening up holes. They're just trying to let the players run through that hole and just trying to make sure that they stay out of the way, do their job, make sure nobody notices the coach, puts them in a right position to do it right, and then good things will happen down the road. So I think that it starts with the players, but having it connected all the way from ownership to front office to coaching to players, that's a big reason why this success has continued for the Brewers.
Yeah, and I've upset Brewer fans again because I was trying to have a bigger conversation that the
most
important,
really?
Yes,
you upset Brewers fans?
Yeah, I think the most important thing for this Brewers organization, because it's a hell of an organization, and the difference between the Cubs and the Brewers right now is the front office. It's not Pat Murphy and Craig Counsell. So I'll ask you this part of it. I have a firm belief that if you just flip these two, maybe the standings are closer. But if Pat Murphy's managing the Cubs and Craig Counsell's managing the Brewers, the standings are the same.
I don't know about that. I just think that, the way that things roll, everyone's a little different. Everything's just a little bit different under Pat Murphy. And I'm not, just because I chose the players as the reason they're playing, they also are, empowered. And I think it's a little bit different with the way that the Brewers have been playing well. And let's, again, like I said, the Cubs are still playing very, very well. I don't think it would be solely because of the managers that the records are the way that they are right now. I think that there's some sort of revisionist history happening here in the greater Wisconsin, landscape of, man, 18 and 19 were really dang fun with Craig Counsell at the helm. And yes, Yelly broke his kneecap in 2019 and Grisham missed the ball. But, again, that's not because of the manager. That's just sort of where this rivalry has taken on new life because of the managerial change. But I just don't see that as solely impacting how these records and how these two seasons have gone.
And I agree with you on that, because that's my larger point, is that the succession from Stearns into Arnold is more important for the short-term and long-term success, to the point of the players. Finding the players, especially the way the Brewers have to operate, obviously Pat Murphy's the hell of a manager, and now it's an important transition. But the fact that they seem to have gotten it right with Matt Arnold, that's the separator, I think, between these two franchises, because the Brewers have the best record in baseball and the best farm system in baseball. That's a hell of a place to be, and Matt Arnold was a part of it with Stearns, and now he's running it. So I think that is the most important transition, that he's going to get lost and he won't draw attention to himself, and fans don't really care about the GM. But if it is the players, and I agree with you on that, the GM, and I think at the time was assistant GM with Stearns and some of this as well, deserves a boatload of the credit.
Yeah, I think with the line of infamy that people are, so still up in arms about was the bites at the apple line. But this is the results of the bites at the apple, right? Where you are suddenly the best team in baseball. I don't think anybody expected that coming into the year. But yet you can sit here and appreciate the fact that because of that, hard Josh Hader trade in 2022, yes, they missed the playoffs by 2 games that year, but it turned into William Contreras. It turned into a couple of great seasons with the OL Piums. And then it turned into Robert Gasser when he comes back, hopefully by the end of the season, definitely in the picture for next season. And then furthermore, look at what Caleb Durbin has been doing for the Brewers. And they now flip Nestor Cortez for Brandon Lockridge, and he's had a couple of great at-bats lately. So these sort of savvy moves that are on the periphery, and don't forget Andrew Vaughn and don't forget Quinn Priester. This starts at the top of just understanding that we have targets. If there's an opportunity to go get one of those targets, go for it. You have full power to do so, because from scouting to analytics to coaching to player development, all of this is still pretty much carried over from year over year, even since Stearns and Arnold had their transition. So just as many people behind the scenes deserve a lot of credit that don't ask for it, and I think that's a common denominator within the Brewers organization.
So I will say that at the beginning of the Brewers season, we all gave our bold predictions for this year. And I said that the Brewers were going to hit 100 wins, okay? Everybody looked at me like I was crazy. It was a crazy take, don't get me wrong. But the fact that we are very close. We are, 21 games away?
21 games away.
21 games away from them hitting 100 wins. Did you ever think that was possible heading into the season?
Of course not. Anyone who says they were fully feeling, let me tell me, Molly, did you really believe it?
Took a big shot, yeah.
Okay, I took a big shot. I'm also not a baseball gal, I will say. Baseball is at the back of my mind, basically. I really, it's not my jam. So I was just like, well, you know what? They get in the 90s. Why couldn't they get to 100? So it was a bold prediction.
500 play the rest of the year is a team record in wins. And then just a couple more than that is, 100. And look, I'll understand where there's some apprehension about, who cares about regular season? All that matters is October. And you're absolutely right. But, man, it's like you can sit here and say, 100 wins, something that's never happened before. It's a nice round number. We all love round numbers, right? But it'd be cool. No one predicted it. I've been steadfast in saying the Brewers are going to win the division since spring training, and it was tough a little bit in May. It was pretty tough. But I think we can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Last thing I have for you is, and we don't have to set full-on expectations, but at this point, it feels like the Brewers at a minimum have to, obviously they're going to make the playoffs, win the division, and win a playoff series with Pat Murphy for this season to have unquestionably feel-good vibes. And anything past that, it could be a letdown if you don't make the World Series, or you can feel some disappointment if you don't get to the NLCS. But if you can win a playoff series, something they haven't done in a while, combined with this hell of a run and surprise run, I think that's going to be chalked up as a success for most Brewer fans.
I agree. I think this is the year and the team and the club that should be able to get through a playoff series. And let's be honest, they were 2 outs away from doing it last year too. So with the way that the playoffs roll in Major League Baseball, and like we talked about, 38, 39 games to go, like there could be another ebb and flow in there. And then October is just not the same. It is a different season. And it's suddenly, this is a team that has a lot of playoff experience. You know, a lot of these young guys have done this plenty. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. This will be the first time in a while we see a healthy Christian Yelich going into the postseason, and that's what I'm really, really excited about.
Dom, awesome stuff. We appreciate everything you're doing down there in Chicago and joining all these shows, including ours. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you got it. We got dry weather, and we're ready for Big Woo here coming up tonight.
Awesome. Should be another fun one here on ESPN Madison, your home for Brewers baseball in Madison. We're going to be joined by Jason Wilde in the next segment here. But go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Millions of dollars are won every single weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. That was Dom Cotroneo. You can listen back on the ESPN Wisconsin app to him. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Preseason football is underway and college football is here, so don't miss any of the action this season on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
The Madison Summer Survival Kit. Cooler full of drinks, a comfy lawn chair, and a large Hut Lovers pizza from Pizza Hut. For just $12.99. Choose from 4 loaded legends. Meat lovers, pepperoni lovers, veggie lovers, and the new Spicy Hawaiian. It's your summer go-to. Hot, melty, and made to crush hunger. Just $12.99 each for a limited time only. Head to one of their locations or order online on the Pizza Hut app before it's gone. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Additional charge for extra toppings, pan, stuffed crust, and extra cheese.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because your next Mercedes Sprinter van is waiting for you.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP SmartSide Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
All day, every day, the Carbless talk and text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6 and follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions presented by Siding Unlimited. Trust Siding Unlimited with your next window and door project.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Preseason football is underway and college football is here, so don't miss any of the action this season on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
We shopped at Chalmers because my husband wanted to get me a larger diamond in my engagement ring.
The folks at Chalmers said, well, you know, we could just make it like this and we could do these things. Really just basically decided that there wasn't any place else we wanted to shop.
But not only did they create this new engagement ring for me with this gorgeous center stone, they also rehabbed this other ring, and I am beyond pleased.
Her favorite thing to do now is to walk around and show her hands and have people comment on it.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Hero Centers of Wisconsin is changing lives, providing shelter and support to help homeless veterans build fulfilling lives on their own. Join us Friday, August 22nd at the Bridges for our annual golf outing. We're inviting businesses and individuals to sponsor a veteran or first responder for a full day of fun. 16 heroes are already sponsored, and we need your help to get to our goal of 40. Empower our heroes and support those who've served us. Visit herocenter.org to get involved today. That's herocenter.org.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
At Siding Unlimited, we're really excited for the fall season. Not only are we proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, we are also fired up for an exciting fall season cheering on football and volleyball. If that's not enough, we're really excited to share with you that Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's best window and door installation team. Siding Unlimited is a Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award winner 5 times. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jason, quick
You
question.
are one of one.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Thank you for helping me prove my point, Molly. Because my point. Well, is this Matt Hamilton?
Molly said it best. I said fart in the bathtub. She said gross.
Do you have a question for Jason, or how is he supposed to respond to this?
He asked the questions to me. No bats.
By hanging up.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that?
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. Stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Primetime Lorshine behind the glass. And for the first time in a while, we get the opportunity to talk Packers with Jason Wilde. But Jason, it's been a bit. How have you been?
I'm thrilled to be with you, and I'm great. Thanks for asking.
You know, I'm trying. You take a break off the show, and I'm like, you know what? I need to do a better job of making sure I say hello to our friends that join the show before I just jump right into things. So that's something that I'm trying to work on.
No, I don't. So there's two schools of thought on that, right? I am huge on small talk, saying hello to everyone. I can't remember who I was telling this story to the other day, but I was in the locker room, and Kamal Hadden, who, Molly, you're a big Packers fan.
Mm-hmm.
What position does Kamal Hadden play?
Ooh, if I had to guess, Ryan's not talking to my ear yet, so I'm just going to take a wild guess. Corner, wide receiver.
You told her that. Yeah. Okay. So
I didn't say a thing, Jason.
Corner.
That was all Molly.
God, I'm good.
All right, he's a corner, but I'm guessing that most Packers fans are not familiar with this game. So one of my things is, and I just think it's common courtesy, is I always either say hello to someone who crosses my path, or hey, how you doing? How's it going? Whatever. And so Kamal is in the locker room the other day, and we happen to be like walking toward each other, not like to embrace like in some sort of like a beer commercial or something. But he's in my path, and I'm like, hey, Kamal, how are you? And he stops dead in his tracks and looks at me and goes, you know my name?
Aww.
And I'm like, yeah, I know everybody's name. Like, that's my job. And I'm like, it doesn't matter where you are on the depth chart. I'm always going to say hello to you. And so he's like, okay, I'm Kamal. I'm like, I'm Jason. Nice to meet you. And so now I come across him, and he's always saying, hey, Jason. Hey, Kamal. How you doing? So I kind of rooting for him to make the roster. But there's a fine line because, and this happened to me again today, and I am a big hugger. You guys know that. Like, mm-hmm. I am a hug hello guy. Like Jerry in the lobby with the Kiss Hello program. But I am now on a hug hello program with Bo Melton.
Oh, that's your guy.
He is my guy. Don't get me wrong. But like, I am a beat writer, and I feel I just feel a little tinge of discomfort that my other brethren are looking at me going, God, Wilde's hugging Bo Melton all the time in the locker room. And I don't know. It's kind of like the Seinfeld episode. Like, do I say, Bo, you know I love you. I'd hug you every time I saw you, regardless. But I kind of think that my colleagues think I'm, a dink for doing this. Or I'm just decided to let it ride. So yeah. I see him. I know he's coming. I'm already ready for the bro hug, and then we go on about our day.
It's been a long time since I covered teams, but Melvin Gordon was an intern here, and when I would cover games, like he would find me afterwards and similar. But I do not carry the reputation that you carry, so I was like, oh, whatever. I think this is awesome because I'm just trying to create like connections for future as opposed to like being Jason Wilde, multiple sports writer of the year in the state of Wisconsin.
And by reputation, you mean reputation as someone who likes a good hug.
Right, exactly. No, but I get where you're coming from. But I'm glad I did the hello there, Molly, because like we got that great story. Mm-hmm. So lesson learned. I need to do it more often because we just got a great little insight from Jason Wilde on covering the Packers. Because I think that was my favorite part. It's the only thing I miss covering teams was building their relationships with and I would start with rookies. Nobody's gonna know these people, but Lorenzo Booker, who covered the Dolphins, and he and I were friends. But it started with that, and then Ted Ginn Jr. Fans might remember him with Ohio State. John Beck. But I would just find the guys who didn't know that I was new, and then I would go talk with them, and then I'd be kind of friends with them, and I was able to connect. Daquan Cook and Ted Ginn Jr. One played for Ohio State basketball, one played football. They didn't know each other. I got each other's phone numbers and gave it to them, so they became friends and hung out. I loved that more than anything else when I covered the teams.
Yeah, I will say this, and I really like people. So it's just natural for me. And these guys are people, too. I know they're much more athletic than me, and their bank accounts have a lot more zeros than mine. But I still kind of treat them as just regular people, right? Mm-hmm. And it was funny today, a story that I'm working on for channel3000.com. I've been talking on our show, and you guys, we've talked about it, too. The one thing that I would be apprehensive about if I was a Packers fan is you're missing all these wide receivers for basically weeks on end. Your quarterback has a jacked up non-throwing thumb, so he's limited in practice. How are you going to hit the ground running offensively when you have two games in a span of, 5 days against two NFC championship contenders? And so I was talking to both Wicks and Reed one-on-one today, and they both of them said the same thing. Jason, you worry too much. And I'm like, okay, and that's fair. And, Reed and I have a thing because somehow I got to become Jay Bird on occasion on Wilde and Tausch. He was a Jay Bird when he was little, and then they just knocked off the J, so they just call him Bird. So he and I have had a good relationship, and he said the same thing. It's like, what are you worried about? We've got great chemistry. I'm like, you haven't been on the field together, hardly at all. And the game is not that far away. We're less than 3 weeks away from this. You're not in any way concerned? No, chemistry's good. We spend more time around each other than we spend apart from each other. I'm like, all right, well, I look forward to September 7th, and you can bet your bottom dollar if those guys score 6 points, I am going to go back to both of them and say, hey, maybe I had a point being worried about you guys, huh?
I mean, Jason, I'm in the same camp. I am very concerned about this, but maybe don't make my favorite team that nervous and get all jittery or something. That's where I'm getting a little bit nervous.
It didn't work. They're not nervous. They did not have any interest in my suggesting they should be nervous. They could not have torpedoed that. I'm still going to write the story, and I'm going to write about how they say, "Don't worry, be happy," which is a song older than both of them, I think, combined. So I don't think I convinced them, but I was talking to Love for a minute today because I was watching him put on this long sleeve shirt, and it was a struggle because he didn't have his brace on, so he's trying to weave his thumb through this long sleeve shirt, and I'm like, dude, if putting on a long sleeve shirt is that difficult, when are you going to be able to do all the things you need to do against the Lions?
Right.
And again, this is I have a clear brand, and I get that the girls are used to it, right? Paula certainly is used to it. Other parents that are friends of ours know how I operate. They know that the girls are going to be the last ones in their classes to get driver's licenses, etc. But Love's like, look, I'm getting the stitches out on Saturday, and then I'll have more functionality in my hand. If I don't have the brace on, though, I have to be really careful not to pull the stitches, which makes sense, right? But it's still watching him try to navigate his sleeve. It was a struggle. It looked like me when the dogs start barking in the middle of the night at the feral cat on our porch, and I'm trying to pull on some shorts and a T-shirt and head outside to find out, what the ruckus is all about. I ended up putting my head through the wrong. I ended up putting my head through the sleeve instead of the neck hole.
Jason, we had Pat the designer on yesterday, and he continues my long.
I saw that.
Yeah, our long streak of upsetting Wisconsin sports fans. But I thought his take, and we'll play it real quick, and then you can react to it. I thought it was an interesting take because, well, let's just hear it.
I just have to know, like, what do you guys actually think about the Packers and Jordan Love? Does he scare you?
There's always the I don't want to say big brother complex because I feel like that's giving you too much credit, but there's always that feeling of like the Packers may do it again, right? Mm-hmm. Until we start to fight back a little bit more in the rivalry, that's always going to be there. But for me, as a Bears fan, Jordan Love is everything I hoped that he was going to be for the Green Bay Packers. Just good enough that you can't get rid of him, but maybe not good enough to get you over the hump.
And so that was the last part there, that if Jordan Love doesn't make a big jump and he is the quarterback you're paying $55.5 million a year, but he's a tier 2 guy to use the athletic sort of system there, that is kind of a weird nightmare scenario for almost every franchise.
Yeah, I saw that exchange, and I thought it was really interesting. And I've been taking – me being the big hot take guy that I am, I've been taking some heat today. Because when we had Evan Cohen on this morning, we were talking about, the idea of the Packers being somehow in the mix for a trade to acquire Micah Parsons, which, let me be crystal clear, I do not think that is going to occur. I would say it's like a below 5% chance. And so I'm not advocating for it. But what I said is, and it's kind of along the lines of what Pat's saying there, is that, look, if they have another year where Jordan is good, but they go 10-7 because the schedule's tougher this year, and they are the wild card, and they lose a first-round playoff game on the road, like, that's not any advancement, right? Mm-hmm. And Goody and LaFleur, as we've talked about before, will most likely get one-year extensions, so they're not in a lame duck year in 2026, but that leaves them completely free for Ed Policy. If they have another year in 2026 where it's kind of the same deal, then he can go, all right, we're going to try something else. You guys aren't cutting it. And my point is that if that's a possibility, then why the hell not pursue the Micah Parsons thing? Like, if you're eventually going to get fired anyway, if you don't get to, the Super Bowl or whatever, and look, Micah Parsons makes Jordan Love a hell of a lot better, right? Yeah. Without catching a single pass from him, because he makes the team better. And then, again, Jordan Love becomes a quarterback you can win with. You can win a title with. Maybe not win a title because of, but win one with him. And so, I look back on what the Rams did, and we always have this, and I think it's complete garbage, but we always have this discussion about, I would if you could promise me a Super Bowl championship every 10 years, I would survive 9 years of losing seasons in between each one of them. And I don't think people understand how much it sucks to go through not just one losing season, but 9 of them in a row. There's no way you would make that trade if you actually had to live through those 9 seasons. But the Rams, I mean, they've already rebuilt, right? They had the Eagles on the ropes last year in the playoffs, like the Packers had a chance to do. And they said blank those picks, and they got a title out of it. Like, it's great. I don't want to give up my first and second round picks or a first this year and a first next year for Micah Parsons. But you know what? If you win a Super Bowl after you make that trade, do you think you're sitting there on draft day the next year going, oh, gosh, I really wish we were picking? I don't think so. You're admiring your new ring.
Yeah, I would just point to Mitch Trubisky had his best and only good season with the Bears, and they made won the division when they went and got Khalil Mack. Mm-hmm. And it made him better, made the team better. They had their only division title since I can remember when they did that move. And the Packers are phenomenally further along than the Bears were at that point. So it would be.
And remember, Jim, that the Packers were also in on that trade. Mm-hmm. Like, their offer just wasn't quite as good. Goody had 2. It was 2019. It was 2018, right? And it was 2019 that they had 2 first-round picks. They took Gary and they took Darnell Savage. And he was not willing to give up both of them. And that's why they didn't get him, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, look, it worked out in the short term for the Bears. It would have worked out better for the Packers, even in that scenario. A better team would have gone further with Khalil because it wasn't a one-year deal. I mean, it was a multi-year impact there.
Yeah. So again, I'm not expecting this to happen, but I do think it's important to look at it through the lens of, hey, they don't have lifetime contracts, and at some point, winning 9, 10, 11 games and not getting any further than that, and not getting any to an NFC Championship game, that ain't good enough. It just isn't.
Jason, great stuff as always. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
At Canopy Wealth Management, they are a fee-based advisory firm. They don't chase commissions, never back gimmicks or instruments that chase single-day returns or put your long-term goals at risk. The team at Canopy creates strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. Canopy Wealth Management, care, competence, and clarity aren't just buzzwords. They're a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started with them today. That's canopy-wealth.com. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I'm out on Kelsey.
Clipped the part.
I'm out on Kelsey.
You
I don't like
despise Travis Kelce.
I do.
God, if Jim
his
was
hair,
here,
his last name, everything. Yeah, he'll be like, "What? Him and Taylor Swift are great."
if Jim was here, he would just be screaming at the both of you. Right
Literally,
now.
Oh
exactly.
my gosh, he would be losing
This
his
isn't even
mind.
a question.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Summer is here, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. I've been telling you for years how great Door County Distillery is. Locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. The sun is shining, and so can the Rock Island Rum from Door County Distillery in your summertime cocktail. Otherwise, vodkas, gins, whiskeys, brandies, and more, it's all available from the award-winning Door County Distillery. Find a huge list of unique cocktail recipes and the retailer nearest you, doorcountydistillery.com. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Lops up top to Giannis. Whoa, what a play!
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
And now, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Fly ball to center. It is way back, and it is gone!
This is Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
Now what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold!
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
And the stone that I have, Jim Rutledge, Molly Brown with you, Primetime Laura Sean behind the glass, is that we have a new addition to the Rutledge household. And that is, we picked up a kitten on the anniversary of my wife and I, 13, this is going into 13 years together, I guess is what it's been. Yeah, so is that how that works? So,
wait, no. Is this your wedding anniversary?
Yes, wedding anniversary.
So have you been married for 13 years?
I guess it's 13 years because Rosie's 12 and she was a honeymoon baby, so that's how we always remember.
I love how that's how you calculate it.
It's just the easiest way for me to do it. That's 13. So now we're into year 14, right then? Is that how this works?
No.
Or
what?
I'm in year 13.
What year did you get married?
12 years. What, 2000... Whatever.
2013?
2012.
2012, yeah.
2012?
You got married, so this is year 13.
So we're in year 13.
This is year
Gotcha.
13.
So
it's
anyways,
like being a 13-year-old. When you turn 13, you're in your 13th year.
17, I think we're like around 16 or 17. 16 together.
Okay.
So, anyways.
Well, take Rosie's age, add 5 years, and then that's how you know.
There you go. But we have 2 other cats in the house that arrived 2 years ago on my birthday. So I was like, well, that's easy to remember of like, they brought home the cats on my birthday. And I was like, my wife's like, if I go get to this animal rescue, I'm going to come home with a kitten. I'm like, whatever, who cares? Like, it's fine. And so that's where we're at right now is that we have a kitten. We don't know what to do with it in 2 weekends because we're going camping and the other cats are not great with it right now. And this is a very tiny guy, so we have to figure out that.
You don't want your other cats to eat it?
Yeah, a small solution. Gus is the cat's name. He is very tiny. But it is hilarious because he's got 0 F's to give. Like, he walks around the house. He bounces around the house. Now, the cats are the problem. The dog, like, Dolly just wants to sniff Gus. It's just like, hey, I just want to see what's going on. Like, I just want to know who you are,
like
what's
a
happening.
Good Gus sniff.
Yeah, but, like, that's it. Like, Dolly's not trying to hurt the cat or anything. Yeah. Dolly's just like, who are you? What's going on? Because the other reason I wanted to get the cat is I, in my head, thought it was hilarious because Dolly was at the kennel and we couldn't pick her up till Sunday. So the fact that she comes back from being at the kennel for a week and there's another cat in the house, obviously they don't look like that, but that was just hilarious to me. So just for the lulz, I was like, get a cat and mess with the dog. Like, what? We get back and got a cat. So welcome, Gus. It's August Tiger Rutledge is his full name.
Tiger?
Well, that was my wife had a cat prior that was Tiger Cat, and so she wanted to give an homage to Tiger Cat.
We'll have to talk about this again tomorrow. We're running out of time.
This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly. Brewers baseball, game number 2 coming up next. Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bars of the Month. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy the best High Life specials in Madison. Plus, to celebrate our love for dive bars, we'll be giving away a case of Miller High Life to one lucky fan every Thursday. Live the high life with Jim, Matt, and Molly and enjoy the champagne of beer in its natural environment. Like Chief's Tavern, The Rail House, Ideal Bar, The Wisco, and Remington's Tavern.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening